NiKo has had a bizarre few days. On Thursday, it seemed like he was out of G2, leaving his family and team behind to collect the Saudi bag on Falcons. But now it's confirmed that he's staying on G2 and is actually the hero we should all aspire to be. So what the hell is going on with NiKo? All right, before we get into the video, I need to let you all know that we at theScore Esports have a second merch drop. Here's me to tell you all about it.
Guess what, folks? Our Touchgrass hoodies did so well that the suits are actually letting us make even more Dunn gamer-inspired shit. Like our new Bader zip-up hoodies, made for all the real blue-collar workers out there. Perfect for any environment, whether it's catching fish, hanging your teammates out to dry, or just tugging on your... Or how about our inspiring new Onward and Forward tee? The ideal shirt for the sweatiest of gamers so that you can slam the W key with zero resistance and little to no chafing. Teammates don't like it? Fuck them. Ruin everyone's night. Oh, and yeah, we got these blue esports tees. I forgot we made these. Yeah, they're definitely blue and they say esports. Game in style and comfort with theScore Esports Drop 2 available now.
Okay, so just last week, I did a video talking about all the news that's been surrounding m0NESY and Saudi team Falcons. Falcons, a team with endless cash flow and one looking to make a super team, had the 18-year-old Opper in their crosshairs. But G2's GM made it clear in an interview that he was in fact not for sale. However, I also noted in that video that the same strong language wasn't used to protect their other star, NiKo. And like 5 minutes after we released that video, CS journalist Nell reported that NiKo would in fact be leaving to join Falcons. And the news was both shocking and not so shocking. On one hand, NiKo was leaving the team that he helped build, the team he was supposed to win a major on, the team that his own flesh and blood literally plays on. But at the same time, accepting a deal from a team like Falcons is an opportunity to collect a bag. Listen, I'm sure that NiKo was doing just fine on G2, but probably nothing comparable to what Falcons were offering him. Now, some people took to Twitter to judge him for the move, given Saudi Arabia's shoddy ethical track record, while others were wondering if this meant that m0NESY was going to follow him. However, none of that seemed to actually matter as of yesterday, because it turns out that NiKo isn't actually going anywhere.
I'm really proud of the boys, proud of myself, how we handled everything this event, and it's definitely something that's gonna stay and stick in my heart for a long time. You guys know I'm not leaving, right?
Yes, in this cheeky video disguised as a goodbye and his subsequent tweet, NiKo made it clear that he was in fact staying with G2. The response was overwhelmingly positive. Given the temptations, many praised NiKo for believing in his team's future and choosing to stay with the G2 family over a check. However, others were pissed that this even got reported on in the first place, with many calling out Nell directly. And while I do agree that esports reporting, especially when it pertains to roster moves, has been a bit shoddy as of late, I don't really blame Nell for this one. Obviously, we can't know for sure if Nell was just pulling this all out of his ass or not, but if we take it at face value, it seems like for a period of time, it was true. NiKo was leaving G2. So what happened? Well, as Nell pointed out in his own defense, this is just the way she goes sometimes, which is true. Both traditional sports and esports can be absolute clusterfucks when it comes to signings and transfers. This isn't anything new. Despite how things appear on the outside, teams aren't one big happy family. Sure, the mission is to generally win games, but players are there to make as much money as possible, while teams would like to spend as little as they can. Nell said in his second report that things were all but confirmed between both parties, but then there was a, quote, unexpected change. What was that unexpected change? Well, only the people that were in those rooms probably know, but I'm sure we can give a pretty informed guess. One that former Astralis star and current Twitter GOAT, Bubsky, literally predicted before it happened. In a mid-October tweet, Bubsky said it would be interesting to see if players would use a potential Falcons contract to leverage more money from their current teams. And that could be exactly what happened with NiKo and Falcons. He essentially forced G2's hand, either give me a better contract or I walk. Now, it's also important to note that in a very recent interview, the Falcons CEO claimed that NiKo was the one to approach them. This has yet to be verified, but if true, it lends credence to the idea that NiKo was the mastermind behind all of this. Though, the Falcons chairman also said that they never actually reached an agreement, and NiKo did say to Bubsky on Twitter that his assessment of the situation was incorrect.
I'm happy to say that we've been approached by NiKo first at the beginning, and that he wanted to do his move, and he's exploring his options.
It's interesting to wonder which other players that also received a Falcons offer are trying to do the exact same thing that NiKo might have with their orgs. But as Bubsky pointed out, it's a weird time because orgs are currently trying to spend as little money as possible. But if more teams like Falcons enter the fray, how much are orgs going to be willing to spend to keep their teams from being cannibalized? Okay, so yes, NiKo is in fact staying on G2, and m0NESY likely is as well. But Falcons is still trying to build a super team. So who's in their sights now? Well, unlucky for ENCE, it seems like they might be the next team on the chopping block, and it will be interesting to see if they can do anything about it. But given everything that's happened over the last few days, maybe we just let Falcons play their first match, and then we can actually lock in who's on the team. Someone brought up, they said like, are you drinking a Coke in the morning? And so no, I'm not. But everyone always thinks I am. And when I was doing it today upstairs, because they have the ice upstairs, they're like, I know from their eyes that they think it's a Coca-Cola, but it's in fact a coffee. It's a tall Americano, if you will.